Now take careful note of the fact that visits by Ugandan presidents to Kenya usually take place in Nairobi. And when it's not Nairobi, it will be the border, at Busia. But oddly enough, this particular state visit started from the farthest corner of Kenya, from Uganda. It started in Mombasa. President Yoweri Museveni landed in Mombasa. Now I think the main reason for this was so that the Ugandan president would travel on the SGR back to Nairobi, which is what he did. And on the surface of things, it seems the Ugandan president got a lot of goodies for Uganda, and left his hosts empty-handed. That's what it looks like on the surface. However, nothing could be further from the truth. Picture this. You're a country and you want something which is very important and very vital for you from somebody. It is you who is in desperate need and not your neighbor, or the person you want to negotiate with. So the way the negotiations start is that you tell your neighbor, I want this. It's very important to me. So, what do you want in return? So your neighbor gives a long list. And the negotiation will center on that long list. Because what you'll try to do in your negotiations is to reduce the size of that list, which is precisely what happened during the recent visit by Yoweri Museveni to Kenya. And so the question must be, what is this that Kenya wants so desperately from Uganda? The answer is in 3 controversial letters. SGR. President Uhuru Kenyatta is serving his last term, and therefore he has to occupy himself with his legacy. Now, one of the things that he has to sort out and make sure he sorts out before he leaves power is SGR. For the SGR to be viable, it must go up to Uganda. Now, so far, Uganda has been very reluctant, to get involved in the SGR, because of the expense required, the capital expenditure that they would need to put in. And even if they were to take a loan, loans have to be repaid. And in any case, Uganda has another option, because Tanzania are also going to build an SGR. And although nothing has been put in writing, at least not yet, it would make sense to Uganda to have an alternate route, to the port, to the coast. Because in 2007, when there were serious problems in Kenya, Uganda suffered a lot. The Ugandan economy was hit, was affected. And all indications so far are that Uganda are warming up, to considering alternate routes to get things into their country from the port and to get things out of their country through a port. The strongest evidence of this is the fact that Ugandan oil, Uganda struck oil, Ugandan oil will be transported through pipelines that go through Tanzania, through Tanga, the port of Tanga in Tanzania. So now it should be a lot clearer to you why the SGR and Uganda are so important to Kenya just now. And so, although we have been told, that parties from both countries are going to get together, and discuss this SGR thing, you can be sure the deal has already been done. Now, there's something else important that we need to take note of. The Ugandan president has always been a very close ally to Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. The two really bonded during the ICC crisis, when Ruto was crafting his plans to form the Jubilee coalition in the run-up to the 2013 elections that saw him become deputy president, the coalition between Ruto's URP and Uhuru Kenyatta's TNA. Yoweri Museveni played a very key role. He is the one who was sending out feelers to Washington, And it was a go-between between DP Ruto and the powers that be in Washington, D.C. Without Museveni, the Jubilee government would never have come to power in 2013. Yeah, he played a very, very critical role. And always, the discussions were not between Museveni and Uhuru. Never. The discussions, all of them, were between William Ruto and Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, directly. And so, the two have always been very tight. However, politics is brutal, yeah. And in this particular case, during the recent visit by Museveni, the deputy president was very low profile, yeah, and he was nowhere near, yeah, the main critical discussions and negotiations with Yoweri Museveni. And in any case, going forward, Museveni has got many other pressing issues, yeah, and Ruto is not very important or very relevant to him right now. And it is nothing personal. That's just life. That's just politics. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.